Hitesh is a hotel management graduate and runs Noodle Town, a fun noodle-based venture where he serves dishes such as Chennai Express noodles, Punjabi Tadka noodles, and many more noodle inventions. A third-time entrepreneur, Hitesh has created Lollipop Foods to dish out any type fun food. Prior to Lollipop Foods, Hitesh was the CEO for Think People Solutions, a pan-India technology hiring solutions business, and Think People Cumulus, a cumulative modern hiring business. Hitesh loves cooking, not surprising, traveling, writing, and is currently also pursuing his passion for photography. Please welcome Hitesh Bhatia.
Hitesh, welcome to Jam with Sam.
Thank you.
So let's get off the mark fast.
Finally, thank you.
Tell me, what made you get into business?
So I think the key factor for me to get into business was like I said, I was hungry. I started my first job with the Taj Group in the kitchen, and I realized that I can't keep on doing this the rest of my life. If I had to achieve my dreams, if I had to do whatever I wanted to do, I couldn't do that while working. So I think that one of the key reasons for me to go into business or wanting to go into business was that. But interestingly, why I started was I was fired from my last job.
Okay. That's honest.
Yeah. So I had no option. You know, the company shut down, and we were all laid off. And we said, "What do you do? You know, let's start doing something on our own." And that's how Think People started.
Okay.
And I think
when was this? Which year was this?
2003.
2003. Okay. So that's when you started this HR company.
Yes, it was the HR solutions.
Okay. And then after that?
So that grew for almost 10 years. You know, it's in its 11th year right now. The business is doing very well right now, touch wood. But the hunger was always there to get back to the food space.
Okay.
It actually happened in 2010, and my partner keeps saying it's a 7-year itch that you got, you know. So after the 7-year itch, I said, you know what, I've done enough of this. I had done my networking, I had grown the business, but I said, now what next? I toyed with the idea of Think People Cumulus. There was a dream to be able to, like you said, you have your networking. The idea was to be able to build a recruitment business, build a platform where people can come together, larger, smaller organizations can come together. But that grew on its own, but that wasn't giving me satisfaction. And then I went back and I asked myself, what's it that I would want to do right now? And then that's when the answer came to me that I think food is what was the calling. You know, after a 10-year long hiatus, the food was the calling, and I said, let's get back to it.
Okay. So how many businesses have you been in so far?
So this is technically speaking, this is my, I'll say, seventh business. I've had 4 that have failed, 3 yet successfully run.
Okay. And could you maybe just give me a quick rundown of which were the businesses?
So I started my first event management company at 17.
Wow.
And it bombed in 6 months' time. Partnership didn't work.
Okay.
Then I started the recruitment business. I tried getting into which is successfully running right now. We also, because my partner was from the advertising background, so we tried to get into point of sale. So point of sale marketing. So we did glow signs and we did signages and all of that for a very long time. But we decided to shut it down because payments was a headache and it didn't make sense. I did try my hand at web development. So we started a business called 12 O'Clock, where we got into the e-publishing space. Because a lot of learning came from our clients. We did hiring for our technology clients, and a lot of learning came from them. We started that. Again, I think most of the businesses that didn't work for me were because of the partnerships that I struck.
So Lollipop Foods is your own?
Yes, I find it started to go out on my own. I said enough of partnerships right now.
So is your philosophy maybe just to grow this brand and sell it off, or you want to continue doing this over there?
I think it's too early for me to decide what path it would take right now. I think organizations, you know, are like human beings. They have a path of their own. All I can do is right now is you know, give it direction. And specifically, I'm in a consumer-facing business, which is the B2C business. I think it's going to take its own path. What path it takes, I can't decide right now. I love what I'm doing right now. People love what I'm doing right now. Whether or not I would want to sell it, I'm not an emotional person specifically with businesses. So I would honestly, if I had an option, I would sell it before I sold it. I think I'd like to see it
grow
to at least maybe 300-400 stores across the country.
Okay.
And then look at what I want to do with it.
So why Noodle Town? How do you set yourself apart from the others?
I think the introduction said it all, but you know, the idea was I loved cooking. So as far as I can remember, when I was, I think 5, 6, I would cook with my mom. So I would get into the kitchen and, you know, start helping my mother peel. And I was lucky. My mom and dad would travel a lot. They had their business, so they would travel a lot. And my sister, being a typical elder sister, you know, she realized I have a passion for cooking and I was good at it. So when I was 7, I was made to cook, and she would watch TV, and it was, she would call up mom, and she'd tell mom, Mom, I'm cooking food for you guys, and go into the kitchen and I'll start cooking. So I would make chapatis, and I would do all of that.
At 7?
At 7, I would love cooking.
Wow.
And I always realized when I did my hotel management, I was 18, and I realized that I can't do a butter chicken. I mean, I can't do a butter chicken. I can't do a dal makhni. It's been done. It's something that probably the chefs could do best. But what I would love doing was I would love creating new dishes. So even as part of my entire hotel management, I realized that one of the things I loved doing was I loved creating something new. So I would try random combinations. My mom, being a Punjabi, and a staunch Punjabi from Delhi, would hate having pasta. So she typically hates pasta. She says it's too bland for her taste. So I tried my hand at chicken tikka pasta, and I tried my hand at kadai pasta, and different kinds of variations. And that's where the noodle play came from. So Noodle Town is currently being branded as Noodle Play because you realize that's what we actually do.
Okay.
And when we started the business, I said I'm not going to do what everybody else is doing because that's not me. I have to be able to create my own niche and stand out. And we said let's look at a product that's universal. When we asked people, we realized that burgers and pizzas, to Indians, specifically as Indians, came much later on. But as kids, the first thing, and I have a 6-year-old daughter, so after roti or rice is what we eat at home, the next thing that came that we started feeding her was noodles. So we said noodles is the best thing because it's such a global dish. It's got so much potential. It's not been, in fact, it hasn't seen its own potential till date. It's not, you'll just get it in the Chinese form, or globally it's just served as boiled. But there's nothing, rice has got biryanis and pulaus and so much more. And we said noodles is so versatile. That's what we started doing.
Okay.
We took noodle, we're doing noodle kebabs, we're doing noodle burgers, we're doing Chennai Express noodles, we're doing noodles, we've just launched a New York noodle, we're just doing a London noodle. So it's noodles in absolutely different formats.
Who gets all these ideas?
A lot of it comes from me.
Okay.
So I yet spend a lot of time cooking. I'm just recovering from, I was just telling somebody that I'm just recovering from food poisoning, and part of that is because I love eating. I just love food. So I'll stop at a restaurant and I'll try the craziest. I'm the guy who will go and say, "Aapka special kya hai?" Which is the kishmish and the dry fruits. I'll try it out, see the flavor, and come back and say, can I do this in noodles? So last week we tried out a sorpotel, we tried out a vindaloo, and now we're seeing what else can we do.
Okay. Interesting. What has been your experience on online networking versus offline networking?
So for the last 10 years of my life, I was a core recruiter, as you could call it. Though I think I stopped recruiting after the first 3-4 years of the business. But I loved the business because you get to meet and speak to so many people at that point of time. And I was one of the early adopters of technology for online digital space for recruiting. And I think it's a very interesting space, but I think one of the disadvantages it has is if you get too much into it, you tend to meet so many people you can't just remember them. I think what's important is to have an online presence, fairly mixed with an offline presence.
Okay.
Because at least you tend to have put a face to people
brand.
you know.
Correct.
I have 13,500 people on LinkedIn.
Okay.
And that is a lot. And I'll probably say I wouldn't know more than 2,500-3,000 of them. A lot of them are candidates, so I've spoken to them and I would know them, but I wouldn't know beyond them. But it's important to come down to events, meet them, put a face to the relationship, which is what actually goes a very, very long way.
Okay. If you have to live your life again, what would you be?
I'll say a hermit.
Hermit,
Yeah.
not a hermit crab, no?
No, not a hermit crab. I'll eat them, But I'd probably be a hermit. I think that'll be an interesting life.
Like, in the Himalayas
Oh
or
yes,
something.
yes, absolutely. Sit in the Himalayas and just
Smoke some pot.
smoke some pod.
Okay. One advice to the entrepreneurs out there, being a serial entrepreneur like you.
Yeah, I think go try. I think that's the best thing you can do. I meet a lot of people because when I was recruiting earlier, I would talk to close to 30-40 people every day. That's almost 300 new people a week over the phone, over Skype and various things. I think one of the most important things that I took home with me was go try, because that's the only thing you can actually carry home. A lot of us live in this fear that, either we do this and what about this, what about people? But I think till the time you don't actually try it, you're not going to know how it feels. It's a beautiful, different high. So one of the interesting sayings that I actually live my life with is, ya daro ya dhanda karo. Don't do both. That's what I live my life with.
Nice. That's a good one over there. Just one thing. You have this cookouts.
Yes,
So
cookouts.
could you just share with everyone these cookouts which are there, because a lot of people are interested in this stuff over there.
Okay, so we haven't been doing them for the last 2 months because of the rebranding and everything. But what we realized is we normally work with noodles, which is very basic. Everybody knows how to make noodles, or everybody's had noodles at some point of time. And again, the idea was to get more and more recipes. And in between, we had hit what would call a writer's block or a roadblock in getting more recipes. I had tried every kind of food I had eaten. I had done pav bhaji noodles, I had done misal pav noodles, I had done everything that I could possibly lay my hands on. I had done it in noodles. And we said, what do we do next? So we created this event called the Noodle Town Cook-Off, where we invited our customers and our folks to come down to our restaurant and actually cook for us. So at that point of time, we were the only restaurant which allowed people to come into our kitchens. So you could walk into our kitchen. You could actually email us a recipe saying, I want to make XYZ kind of noodles, and walk into our kitchen and cook that and serve that to us. We had food bloggers and we had foodies as judges who would actually rate the products, rate the dish, and the winner of the dish would feature on our menu for a month, and the winner could choose the name. So we've had interesting things. We had Chef Saloni's Mumbai Fataka, which was a spicy noodle preparation. We had in fact Chef Saloni's mother who did a very interesting dish, and we had somebody so I think the last cook-off was very interesting. We had the event going on and it was packed. It's a small place, we packed in 60 people into the store. Everybody's cooking and trying to do their different things. And the people from outside peering what's happening, and one girl walks in and says, can I cook? And she cooked something called a noodleette. So she took noodles, she tossed them, with her own style and her own spices. She took egg and she typically how you make an omelette, she beat them in egg and she made an omelette out of it. So you had an omelette out of eggs, but typically stuffed with noodles, and she called it a noodleette. So that was innovation for us, and that's the kind of stuff we look for. I think that's what drives us every single day.
And thank you for coming from Colaba to Vashi.
Colaba to Vashi, Vashi to
Andheri. So that distance doesn't matter.
Absolutely.
And you don't require a visa to come from South Bombay to...
Yes, I did think so, but now I know I don't. Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you so much.